as have been introduced by the moderator, my name is Hangyer Prihandoko. That's my contact number. And that photo is probably 5 years ago before I before I plunged myself into accounting. Now my hair is all white. Yeah, accounting is heavy. So today, as the invitation stated, that we need to address the chart of account to generate information regarding service delivery from the government. So to deliver the information about Indonesia regarding this chart of account, I structured it with 3 main content. But first of all, the overview of standardized chart of account in Indonesia. And secondly, financial information on government service delivery extracted from the chart of account. And third, we'll be expanding the chart of account to improve information scope and depth. So as you all know, Indonesia is a quite large country. We have about 546 provinces and municipalities, and we still haven't included the village, because we have 70,000 villages that last year, when the IMF technical advisor suggested us to include those villages in our GFS general government sector. But up until now, we still don't really realize that, because for the villages, we still haven't got the standard for the accounting, and also the system and everything that we need to be able to aggregate all the data from the villages to the general government sector. So in Indonesia, we have the same standard of accounting for the central government and the local government, but we have different system and policy. Although the local government stated that when they built their system and policy, they try their best to align those system and policy with the central government. So this is to illustrate how the journey that we have to develop the system for the accounting. I think yesterday I have briefly touched this theme. So from 2003, we have the law for the financial package, financial law for Indonesia. 2005, we moved toward cash, toward accrual. 2010, we have accrual. And 2011, we have the general guidance for the accounting system, in which in the general guidance, we have economic classification for account, and also the classification of function of government. The economic classification pretty much stated pretty detailed in that guidance, so that is why the local government and the central government have somewhat an alignment between the 2 systems. And 2013, we established the chart of account for the central government and also the local government, albeit they both have different structure. And for the central government, the regulation is made by the Ministry of Finance, while for the local government, the regulation is issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. If you look at the years, and you look at the FMIS and the surrounding regulation, we can see that at 2009, we initiate the FMIS for Treasury. And it only can be rolled out at 2015 after the chart of account for the central government is established in 2013. So it's quite a long time, and I think Mr. Lai Heng yesterday also mentioned that the best thing to do is take it step by step, and also make sure the human resources is also prepared for the change. When we build the FMIS, one of the focus is also the change management and communication. We have specific bodies to address those issues, because when we change from the system that is already used by the user and we ask them to migrate to another system, resistance will always be surface. So that's why for the SPAN FMIS, which is for Treasury, we need 6 years to implement, to roll out those systems. And SPAN is only for Treasury. So the subject and the implementator is Ministry of Finance. So the change management is not relatively not as high as when we do the change more fastly. Sakti is not only regarding the Ministry of Finance, but all line ministries. That's why Sakti, as FMIS for all line ministries, initiated at 2010 and only just roll out at 2022. Because the change management is taking so much time, we need to make sure all the line ministries know what they're doing with the system, how to handle the system, and prepare for the change. Because no matter how good the system is, when the people behind the system is not knowledgeable about the system, then it surfaces the risk of garbage in, garbage out. They probably are not knowledgeable enough to understand the accounting basis for the system. So although it all helped by the system, but the people always, in the end, is the man behind the gun is the most important. And for the local government, the system is still developing, although they have launched it at 2022 and mandated for all local government to use it at 2024. But up to this moment, the system, I think, is still developing. It's not settled yet as the SPAN for or Sakti for the central government. Next, the structure of government chart of account. You see this, we have 12 segments for the central government. This is for the SPAN. For Sakti, we have 16 segments. Why the difference? Because the SPAN is built based on the Oracle, and I think it's pretty expensive to add another segment. So it is quite rigid for the FMIS for the Treasury. But for the Sakti, we have added for other segment of the chart of account. We have 56 digits. Spending unit, it's the smallest unit for the line ministries operating all over Indonesia. We have about 19,000 spending units, 20,000, something like that. Regional Treasury Office, we have about more or less 200. And the account segment is the economic classification. So when you think about emolument, use of goods and services, the capital expenditure, that will be recorded in the account segment. The account segment has 6 levels. It's the same between the local government and the central government. Both have 6 levels, but the central government only have 6 digits. 6 levels represented by 6 digits, while the local government, they have 12 digits for the same 6 level. Because of that difference of digits, for the local government, they have a more detailed chart of account in the segment of account. For instance, for the central government, the smallest, the most detailed for the capital expenditure is expenditures for land or machinery, while the local government, they detail it more. Why? For instance, for machinery, they have tractors, they have cars, and etc. In the central government, we have a supplemental system for the goods of or the capital that is received from the capital expenditure. Like we have a different code, and the local government refer to that code to detail their account into a more detailed account 12 digits. And the next segment is program and output. These two is directly linked to the service delivery. For the program, the ministry that is responsible to manage this program and output is in the national planning agencies. So it's not on the DG Treasury, but national planning agencies with coordination with DG Budget, our team that is on the pickup meeting. So program and output. The output has the attributes of activities and classification of function of government. The next segment is fund, the source of fund, the bank, authority, location, budget type, inter-entities, and reserve. Reserve is not yet used. For the local government, it has organization, source of fund, government administration area, and the three rated font is what we use to consolidate these two information. I think this is probably have aligned with the multidimensional chart of account that is delivered by the expert, our earlier expert from the Portugal. So after we know about the chart of account in Indonesia, the overview, we need to focus on the service delivery chart of account, extracted from chart of account. The two main features from our chart of account that is presenting the information of government service delivery is the classification of function of government and also the program budgeting. So for the classification of function of government, we adapt the code from the UNSD, United States Statistical Division. We have the same chart of, classification with the difference in the 8 classification. For the UNSD, they have recreation, culture, and religion. Well, for us, we separate the recreation and culture from the religion. And in Indonesia, almost all function is enacted by the government, the central government and local government, except two, the defense and the religion is only held by the central government. Next one, from the chart of account, we have the program budgeting. So yesterday, Mr. Fitra said that for the performance report, we have a future plan to integrate the system. But what you need to understand is that while the system is different, the chart of account actually the same between the planning and the budgeting. So the planning cycle is also using the same chart of account. The difference may be the output of the chart of account. For the budget, we present it in the monetary unit, while for the planning, they presented it in the real unit, like kilometer of road, hospital built, and so on and so on. So from the central government, the program has 7 digits, 3 for ministries, 2 digits for echelon 1. Echelon 1 is like the first level under the ministries, like for the Ministry of Finance, we have DG Tax, DG Treasury, DG Budget, with the name itself is speak for itself about its function, its program. And the last is 2 digits for program. The program will be presented alphanumerical. So it's alphabetical or numerical. And for the output, we have also 7 digits. 4 is the activities, and 3 for the output. The 3 of output is a classification of output. So it's not the real output, but the aggregation of output that has the same matrix unit. Like, for instance, we have output that is measured in kilometers, or we have output that is measured in document. So all those output will be classified in under one coding. The 3 digits, it's also, we can see the priority of national priority from the 3 digits of the output. For instance, all codification beginning with the letter A through F, that is not the priority. While all classification that is started with the letter P, Q, R, S, T, U, that is national priority. So from the coding, we can actually derive or construct, build the national priorities output. For the local government, the digits is a lot more. There are 12 digits, and the nomenclature is different between province and cities. And for the local government, the function segment is standalone, while for the central government, the classification of function of government is attributed to the output. So that is the service delivery part of the chart of account in Indonesia. So, like our earlier expert said, that sometimes we need to expand the chart of account to broaden the scope and also to focus on some targets that need attention from the management. So, in here I present the 2 background. Why do we need to expand the chart of account? So the expansion is not actually in the static chart of account, not in the 12 segment, but we add some tagging so that we can focus on some targets without changing the static chart of account. First of all, because we also need to compile GFS, so we need to consolidate between the central government and the local government. As I mentioned earlier, we have same standard but different system. So, and also yesterday I think there's a question, how do we consolidate those two? What we do is for the economic classification, it's pretty simple because, as I said earlier, that at 2011 we have the general guidance on how to build the chart of account, economic classification chart of account, so that we can easily consolidate or aggregate between the local government and the central government. But for the classification of function of government and its a breakdown from the program, activities, and output, we need to remap because there are no guidance in the general guidance in 2011. We're still developing the consolidated chart of account, especially for the function, program, activities, and output. And for the output or the product of this consolidation, we have 2 products. That is, first, a report that is consolidate the local government and the central government based on the accounting principle. Although, as Mr. Park yesterday said, that it's because we don't really control the local government, so it is not entirely comply with the IPSAS 22. But since this is a managerial report, so that we focus on the presenting of general government data, albeit the difference of system and policy. And the second one is general government GFS report. So for this, because it's also excluded from the IPSAS 22, so we map the account for the central government and the local government, we map it to the GFS account. And it all being done by machine, that is the system secret that is mentioned by the moderator earlier. So we have like the system for the accounting for each entity or reporting entity, and we also have to the system to consolidate between a sector to compile the GFS report. And the second reason why we need to expand our chart of account is for the national priority tagging for addressing the cross-cutting issues. Because as we know, sometimes we have expenditure or program that is that has purpose to deliver a service for more than one purpose, like nutrition. It can serve the purpose of health. It can serve the purpose of social protection. So we need to take it along with outside the static chart of account. But as I mentioned earlier, if we only need to know the aggregate number, we just have to query the output code that is beginning with PQRSGU. And secondly, we have the additional thematic like stunting, poverty alleviation, and etc. So the challenge is how do we accurately present the number, because like stunting probably we have some output that is related to stunting. Let's say the development of sanitation on the environment. That output can be linked to the stunting, but also can be linked to the health, also can be linked to social protection. So we need to proportion those one output into three purpose. That is the challenge. So sometimes, because if we don't do this accurately, we tend to do it over estimate presentation of a number of service delivery. And for the summary, first of all, standardized CHOA is fundamental in conducting accounting system using FMIS. That is, I think, illustrated in the first slide. That is, we only roll out our FMIS at 2015 after the CHOA established in 2013. And secondly, CHOA that can reflect the purpose of government expenditure is imperative in order to measure and safeguard the service delivery of the government. Perhaps to quote Peter Drucker, we cannot manage what we can measure. So we need to be able to measure the output first before we can manage it further. Thirdly, chart of account, although it is static, can be expanded or augmented to meet management needs, covering larger scope or focusing specific targets or services. And lastly, well-designed chart of account allow transparency of government fiscal operation at all levels, central government, local government, and general government. They can be linked to government targets. This will enable the citizens to scrutinize and give feedback on government fiscal operation, which in turn expected to improve the quality of government service delivery. I think that concludes my presentation. Thank you.